we are off and running. We are in the Cadillac DPI. We've got a large lead ahead of the Acura and the other Cadillac. There is not a large DPI field as we make our way into turn one, single file, drama-free start. As we get a good run through the next corner, we are looking to get another nice run through the right-hand sweeper and make our way out of that aero wash gap. As we put our foot down, we have a big lead, and that is the end of our DPI highlights. There's nothing left interesting to show you at all. So we move on to the GT field, and as we see, NDL Evocado in the Lamborghini is ahead of the McLaren 720S of RZM Light. Will RZM Light be able to do well this race? He hopes so. So as we get single file behind, NDL Avocado leads into the first corner. We get a nice run for the whole field. There's drama-free so far as you see the big BMW M6 sitting right behind the McLaren as he gives him a shove, telling him to hurry it on up into the corner. RZM Light clearly should have braked later and gone faster. So we go through the streak, and it's very dangerous to go through here side by side, so hopefully no one did that. And oh, there appears to be drama behind us. Let's take a look. As we go through the Corvette, oh my poor lad, he is dead, instantly dead, as he takes out the Aston Martin with him. Let's get another view as we see what happens. He comes across those of the McLaren and he is 100% dead. He is not surviving that. With 2 fatalities already in the race, we are going to continue because it is the 1950s and that is what we do. The good news is the Corvette and the Aston Martin driver were organ donors, so somebody's getting a new bleed. As we continue our fight at the front, RZM Light is all over the back of NDL of Vakadu as that big shonky M6 sits behind, closely waiting to make a move. It's the front two tangle as we move forward into the corner at this section at the glorious Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We have a long front straightaway here that can we use the draft of the GT car in front. That Lamborghini Super Trofeo car is very draggy but very fast on the straight, so the McLaren should get a nice run up the front straightaway. As you see, he tries to weave on the straightaway to avoid the draft from the McLaren, weaving all the way down into turn one, braking as late as possible as we make our way, even locking up in almost contact with the Lamborghini in front. The McLaren stays behind, but for now, how will he catch up and make another move as he gets a better run through the corners? But the Lamborghini is clearly the faster car on the straight. Oh, Vakadu falling away on the straight as the McLaren tries to stay in the draft, barely staying on track as they drop the big M6 behind them and a Corvette that tries to tag along. As we move forward, he locks the brakes again. Too much brake pressure, RZM Light. Too much brake pressure, but he still maintains to put the pressure on Vakadu. We are making our way back through the second and third sections of the track, on our way to the front stretch to use that powerful draft again. As we make our way forward into the brake zone, the McLaren's going to get deep on the brakes again with smoke coming again. Those tires have to be absolutely hating their driver at the moment. He clearly needs to learn how to take care of them. He's almost Lance-strolled the car in front of him multiple times, but he's so far kept it off. There you can see the dead drivers have been replaced and they are back out on the track. Unfortunately, they lost a lap for those teams as they had to replace their dead drivers. As we have a move into turn one, does RZM Light make the move stick? No, he whips out of the move. He is scared of the Avocado, chopping the nose. Avocado laid on the brakes and he manages to maintain the position as RZM Light staying very closely behind in the draft. Through this section, you don't want to go side by side, as we've seen why. As the McLaren gets the draft again, will he attempt to make a move as Avocado starts defensively? But the McLaren will not make a move. He will stay in nice and tucked in behind. That is a nice battle. Clean racing so far between Avocado and Light in this very, very colorful McLaren, as you can clearly see. This McLaren is absolutely flying right now through the corners, and he's in the draft of the Lamborghini of Avocado. And Neil Avocado going to try and hold it defensively, but RZM Light takes to the inside, but Avocado on the outside gets a better run, and he's going to be able to maintain the position as the McLaren has to give up the spot once again. So he hops back into the draft and into the chase. All the way out of the last corner, and as he nearly goes wide and almost contact with the wall as we go onto the front stretch. And Neil Avocado knows weaving won't do him any good on this stretch because he's already there. Making a move up the inside. Is he going to make it stick this time? No! He's on the outside, but Avocado again holds his line as the McLaren goes a little bit off track. We are side by side for the lead as RZM Light now manages to take the lead, but NDL Avocado has the speed in the straight with the Lamborghini. Going back up the inside of the McLaren. Oh, we already have an attempted pass back for the lead. All the hard work that RZM Light has done, will it go in vain? No, he manages to maintain around the outside. Excellent defensive driving from the McLaren driver as the Lamborghini makes an aggressive move up the outside. Who's going to get the power down first? It's the Lamborghini. He's going to get a better run. Is he going to go at the inside? Using the brakes of that car, he's been able to hold his own on the outside as he attempts to make a move on the outside. But the McLaren of RZM Knight manages to maintain as we see an epic lunge from the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini driver absolutely centered there of Avocado as we are still letting this BMW M6 maintain ground. He is not that far away from the draft. He's able to somewhat hold on with these two battling cars. I don't know what has gotten into these two today, but they are absolutely flying and bouncing into each other. There we are into turn one, the Lamborghini all over the back of the McLaren. The McLaren driver absolutely pushing it, but there's not much he can do with the Lamborghini behind him because the Lamborghini has straight line speed. Is he going to be able to make a move on this straightaway? He gets a very, very good run through the kink. There's only a little bit of a gap, about 2 car lengths, but he's in the draft already and he's closing on the McLaren. Is he going to make another lunge? No, he's just going to be following back the McLaren into the brake zone. He's going to look again, but there's nowhere to go. So there we go, the Lamborghini sitting all the way back on the rear bumper of the car. What a good run from the McLaren, but not good enough as the Lamborghini again puts the power down quickly. The acceleration advantage from the Lamborghini is making a move already, maybe around the outside, but he thinks better of it. Gets on the brakes hard and stays nice and close to the McLaren. Maybe making another tempting lunge, but maybe he's just making him think twice about turning in early. Compromising that run for the last corner. The Lamborghini probably too far back to make a move into turn one this time, but we shall see. He's in the draft early, and we've seen that the Lamborghini has the better straight line speed. We are pushing all the way as hard as we can into the first turn. But NDL Avocado is not going to be able to make a move as the McLaren locks up and goes a little bit wide, misses the apex. It's going to allow Avocado a run, and the McLaren goes in the grass and loses some time. Oh no, his team is going to be furious with him. RZM will not be happy with this performance as he's let the Lamborghini back ahead as NDL Avocado takes the lead again. The Lamborghini driver stays in front of the McLaren as we go into the brake zone again. RZM Light has all the work to do again as we see the Lamborghini has the straight line speed, but the McLaren has the cornering and it appears to be having the brake zones on lockdown as he stays nice and tight to the rear end of that Lamborghini. He's going to attempt to use the draft again. He's able to hold a little bit lower line all the way through this corner, but is he going to be able to make another move as he attempts to make an inside lunge? But no, he thinks better of it and locks the brakes slightly as he sits behind the Lamborghini again. Is he going to get a better run out to the final corner? He sets it up very, very nicely. It's going to keep Avocado at a very, very shallow line. It's going to let the McLaren be absolutely on the rear end of the Lamborghini as we almost go side by side out of the last corner. Across the line, it is nose to tail for first and second as the Lamborghini uses the side draft from the Lamborghini. And the brakes lock again. Is the Lamborghini going to be able to stay along the outside? No! The McLaren takes the lead again. Oh, but he gets wide in the same place 2 laps in a row to let the Lamborghini back by again. His team's going to be furious with him. He makes another attempted move, but the Lamborghini shall remain in the lead while these two are fighting. It's crazy that they are still able to pull a gap to third place. These guys are absolutely flying right now as they stay nose to tail through the brake zone. RZM looking to make another attempted pass. Is he going to be able to make something work? He's sitting right on the tail of the Lamborghini, but the Lamborghini gets a good run, and oh, he almost clips the grass on the Lamborghini. The McLaren's getting a better run. Is he going to be able to make a move into the corner this time by? No, I don't think so. Following the Lamborghini back through the brake zone, this racing is intense between RZM Light and NDL Avocado. But Avocado gets a better run as the McLaren lit the rear tires up. We have the McLaren in the draft of the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini is pulling away on the straights, but it does have a big wake behind that the McLaren will follow it, allowing the McLaren to catch back up towards the end of the straight and into the brake zone. The McLaren definitely seems to be slightly better on the handling terms, but with RZM Light, he seems to be struggling with the braking as he locks up repeatedly. RZM Light is stuck behind NDL Avocado. It looks like if he does get the space, he might be able to pull away. Up in the brake zone. So far, he's not been able to pull away from each other. They have been battling the whole race. One cannot get away from the other. That is the true effect of Forza Motorsport. It is difficult to pull away when your car is the same speed, lap time-wise, as another. So he gets back into the draft right away. Can he pull the gas back though? Not this time, not this brake zone, as he's gonna look to set it up again as he looks to make an inside move. Thinks better of it, sweeps back on the outside, focuses on getting a good corner exit. He's able to keep it a little bit tighter than the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini gets a little bit wide and touches the grass. The McLaren's in the draft again. NDL Avocado taking a line defensively very early on in the straight as the McLaren uses the side draft. And we are going all the way into turn one as he nearly hits the wall on the outside. NDL Avocado is going to be pinching him towards that exit. And he's going to be able to maintain the lead as the McLaren still tries to fight on the outside. But it is in vain. And he gets a good line though, the McLaren does, through the last little bit section of that corner. And he's got a run. He's right on the back of the Lamborghini again. The Lamborghini in trouble. NDL Avocado taking a very, very defensive line as RZM Light goes back around to the outside, locks the brakes slightly, cuts back for an inside move, but unfortunately, NDL Avocado's line is defensive enough and he's not going to be able to attempt to pass here as they make their way sweeping to the corner, but Avocado has to correct in the middle of the corner, which is allowing the McLaren to make an inside run again. RZM Light making a move up the inside of the Lamborghini as we see there's a prototype following closely behind, and RZM Light is going to be able to maintain the lead, but oh no, he goes a little bit wide. Now he goes into the pits. He goes into the pits. Unbelievable. RZM Light underfuels the car, makes a massive, massive mistake. RZM Light is out of the race with a pit stop, out of contention for the win. Unbelievable. We are now running again with first in both classes here. We have the Red Lobster car and the Lamborghini of NDL Avocado as RZM Light makes a catastrophic mistake, underfueling the car for a 15-minute race. That is simply unexcusable. Mistake from the McLaren as we join Bunter, and I've just been handed a team statement from RZM here. Let me read this. Hold on. Just one moment. It says, Light is new to the team and he's still going through math lessons. He should be ready to go in 1 to 2 weeks, but don't hold your breath. That statement comes from RZM Crow. Thank you for the statement. Now we follow along the battle with Bunter here in the Dodge Viper racing against this McLaren as time is running out. We have just but 15 minutes to get this racing done, and we are about out of 15 minutes as the Viper looks to make a move off the inside of the McLaren, but the Viper brakes a little bit early. The McLaren's going to be able to hold the line. He gets the inside line. He's going to be able to hold it all the way through the last corner. The Viper goes a little bit wider, so he should get a little bit better line through the last corner, but he pushes wide almost into the grass. Into the draft, we have 3 cars here battling for this position as the Viper goes to the inside. Is he going to be able to make it stick in turn 1 as time is running out for these drivers? He's going to be able to make it stick. The Dodge Viper takes the position with the McLaren right behind and the Aston Martin regaining after a driver swap after the first driver was deceased. An epic comeback from a team that is missing a driver after that horrible incident on the first lap. As the Viper gets a good run through the little bit of a kink, the McLaren tries to get into the draft, but time is running out. Is the Viper going to be able to do it? Yes. So in the end, we had NDL Avocado taking the win after RZM made a mistake in the GT class, and the Red Lobster Cadillac manages to lead start to finish in the DPI class. Nothing really interesting happened there. It was all in the GT class. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.